So, we've talked about a lot of things that I've done. And I did mention a little bit about the lawnmower. You know, the one Dad bought to help me out. There's a lot of stories attached to that. So let's make this segment about the lawnmower.
So when I tow in Providence, I always come to this big hill that is by your house.
Oh.
And when I'm going straight up it, it is crazy. I feel like I'm going straight up, straight down.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have any fun on that?
That's actually called the Gut Buster. That was called the Gut Buster. When I was little, the hill was so steep that the city never had it paved. So when winter come around, it was no cars, and it became the sleigh rides. So the cool thing about that road was, why they called it the Gut Buster, is it was steep, and there was a big thing in the middle, kind of like a rock or something, I don't know what it was, but you'd hit it and you'd fly over and come down and break your gut. Bust your gut, gut buster, gut buster. It was also known as Eck Hill because of a family that lived up towards the top. It was a fun place to go in the winter and drew a lot of people around the valley. Honestly, they came to sleigh ride there. Later on, the city of Providence killed it and paved it. And when they paved it, it was still scary steep. I mean, it was steep. You go up to the top of that hill, you could see Smithfield. Now, from where I am to Smithfield is 240,000 miles that direction. See, so that's that way. Not really that far, but I'm a kid, so we'll go with that. You want to talk about the hill? We're going to have to bring in the lawnmower.
Okay.
So, I talked about this before, that the lawn was exceedingly huge and took forever to mow. Push, 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 push. Saturday morning, I didn't get to watch cartoons. I got my dinner or breakfast. Got my breakfast, went out, started to push, and I pushed all day long. The sun started going down when I got that last blade of grass. My dad, bless his heart, took pity upon me and brought in one awesome riding lawnmower. Now, I wasn't allowed to get it. It was delivered to the shop down the street 3 blocks, as you recall. They had to have a forklift to get it off because he ordered it. And it was put together down there by my brother-in-law and other people. And my brother-in-law drove it up to the house like I couldn't do it. He's kind of an amateur when it comes to driving. I was kind of more mature that way. Anyway, it was brought to the house and I was given a short tutorial how to run it. And pretty simple. A little stick shift, 1, 2, 3, reverse. Simple, right? A little clutch, a little brake. Simple. So I learned how to mow with it. I got the lawn done in like an hour. And I got pretty good at driving that thing. But as you recall in some of the other things I've talked about, I always wanted to be mobile. I always looked for a way to go from point A to point B in the easiest way. I had a friend. He's one of the friends that were involved in the incident with football. And he dropped by my place once and he had the coolest dang motorcycle thing I've ever seen in my life. It was the front wheel drove and the back wheel drove, and those sprockets and the chains go up. But it only walked, it didn't go very fast. When we went up to the hills, up over and above, and it was just fun. Well, it's not fair that people like that have something to go back and forth on, and I'm stuck with nothing. You recall the tiller, right? Yeah, well, the tiller worked, but it had its bad side. So we got the mower, and I mowed, And I asked Dad if I could just kind of play on it. Oh no, no. This is for mowing. Now it had a key. Start it, run. Well, I got caught many a times joyriding on the family lawnmower. One time in particular. Remember this hill we were talking about? Heck Hill? You know, the gut buster? The one that's like 10,000 feet high? You talk about Pikes Peak. You talk about the highest mountain on the earth. This is it. It's huge. So I got several of my friends, local friends, and the new commandos, not the ones down below. These are new commandos. And we decided that I was going to drive this lawnmower because Dad kept it up on the keychain by the fridge, and didn't think to take it away because he didn't think I could abuse it. What a fool. Anyway, so I got on this lawnmower. He says, "You guys want to see something neat?" And I said, "Sure." All right, a couple of you hop on the back. Pop, 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 pop. We went up that hill. That motor was, I mean, it's like this. You know, hang on for dear life. We got up to the top. That's all right. So I got in position. I backed up and I centered it on the hill. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I'm afraid of heights, right? So I guess I'm trying to impress my new commandos. So I said, okay, you guys run to the bottom hill. I'm going to coast down. So what I did is I shut the motor off and I put it in neutral and took my foot off the brake and started down. It started out okay. The first 10 feet were good. But I started getting a little bit faster and got a little bit faster and got a little bit scarier, a little bit scarier, a little bit, oh my gosh, it got really scary. And it got to the point, my gosh, I'm going to die. So I tried to put the brakes on, and what it did is it skidded it this way and skidded it that way. And I thought I was going to die, and my friends thought I was going to die, and we thought it was going to be pretty much it. Now, if you had ever seen this place, and I think we're going to put a picture of what it looks like. If you go down that road, you would end up in Logan somehow. And I thought I was going to end up in Smithfield, which is further from Logan. And I'm going down here. Next thing I know, I'm seeing sparks. So you got the mower deck on the bottom, right? And the mower deck is hitting the thing, it's throwing sparks, and it's throwing sparks. It's throwing sparks. I don't know how to put this in control because it's out of control, and I'm going to die, and it's going, pss, pss, pss. My friends are all, they're petrified. They know I'm going to die. They're going to have to watch it. I'm scared, not so much that I'm going to kill myself, not so much I'm going to kill the mower, but what's going to happen when Dad comes home and finds out I'm dead because I took the mower up. Then I'm going to really be killed, right? So I'm going down there, a little bit of the brake, 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 a little bit of the brake. Safe. Took the mower back, shaking. Put the keys back on the ride by the fridge, and learned my lesson. Well, my dad found out about the joyrides, and you know the bad thing when Dad finds about joyrides, he takes things away like keys. Not only that, I did have to mow the lawn for a whole month by hand. Imagine that. Just because I took it on a joyride, he's going to make me do it by hand? Like I'm going to learn my lesson. And I did. So, there's no more key and I'm no more joyriding. Well, not one to be put down by such a thing. I could remember what the key looked like, and it went this way and had a little thing going out this way and a little thing like that. I thought, what if I take this piece of metal right here and I take the files off of my dad's thing and I start kind of like filing some of the metal away to how I remember the key looked. Let's try this. Okay. I put it in. That doesn't fit. Good. Okay. File more. File more. Put it in. This doesn't work. File more. File more. Eventually it worked. And I turned it and the lawnmower kicked in. It was running. I'd made my own key. I was so proud of myself. Oh, heaven help me. I was so proud of myself. I had invented a key. Okay. Not like I was the world's first locksmith, but, you know, for a kid my age, that was pretty cool. And the test runs are the, little here and there, but no longer that big steep hill that you were asking about. No, no, no. No, I'd learned my lesson on big hills like that. No, I certainly had. There was this one incident though. It was kind of bad. Well, this was our first lawnmower, the riding lawnmower type. And I believe it was a Dayton, was the brand name. And I had a friend come up. One of the friends that was part of the football incident, as you recall. Now he come up, and my parents were gone, and I said, we have a gravel pit just up just not too far from our house. You'd come out of our house, off the driveway, you go up. There's the neighbor's house right next to us, and then a big gravel pit, which was also part of the city. They had a city thing here, the city building and whatnot. And I was thinking, it'd be fun to go out and play in that. Like people do now, doing their four-wheelers and stuff. I have a lawnmower. I don't have a four-wheeler. I got a lawnmower. This thing is like totally monstrous. Well, the year before, my dad had decided that he wanted to use it to scrape the driveway. And to do that, he had to have it fixed with a snow blade. Well, to do that, he needed weight on the back, so there's a guy that lived up above us that was like a genius with anything. He can make anything work. So he made this little metal work alongside and a big metal box on the back to put weight on so that we could push snow. Sometimes we'd have snow this thick or even that high, contrary to belief, but that thing wouldn't push snow more than that. But, Dad had his heart in the right place. Anyway, that box was on there, and you take the blade off, it was still back there when I mowed. Well, this friend come up, and we were talking about things, and I said, I bet that lawnmower could go up that hill in the gravel pit. He says, oh, no, it won't. It'll lose traction. I said, not if you're in the back. He says, really? I says, yeah, you sit in that box in the back, we'll have a lot of weight on the tires, and we'll dig, and it'll climb. All right, let's give it a shot. All right, sucker, we'll show you. So we putted that thing up, remembering my parents were gone. They're going to be gone for a long time. So I wasn't too worried about being caught. So I took that fake key I made, and I drove that lawnmower up there, and we're looking for what's that? Look at that one. Look at that one. That one's like that way. Yeah, full of gravel. You know how gravel is. This thing will just dig right through. We'll just climb up. All right, we'll get a run at it. So first gear, second, third gear. We're rotating at least 9 miles an hour. It's going fast. My friend's holding on for dear life. Boom, we hit the first bit. Pum! Going up. It digs, it's digging in, it's coming over. Yeah, I have often talked about these stories about my life, reliving it, going over your life, death thing like that. This one was longer than once before because I was a little bit older. But this time I could feel the pitchfork in my butt because I knew I was close to going to someplace bad. As the lawnmower come up across, my friend dove off. Me being a good operator and loving the equipment and trying to protect my dad's property, pretty selfless. I want this to go down on record. This was a selfless act, okay? And I'm being very serious. I was very selfless. I was trying to protect my dad's lawnmower from being damaged as it was flipping over on the hillside. As it came over, I put my arm up, and we were like a couple feet from the ground, and we both come down, and the top come off the hood, and it was over there somewhere. My friend was over there somewhere. I don't know what he was doing because I was watching this engine come at me. These engines get kind of hot and they smoke a little bit, and it was starting to smoke a lot because now the oil was going up and it was smoking and there was smoke everywhere, and I had this really hot engine coming towards my arm, and we rolled together, and I protected that lawnmower as we went towards the ground, and I had my arm in place, and I had my arm there to secure it and to keep my dad's investment. And I had my arm up there, and it was burning, and it was causing massive burns because we'd come to a stop, and now I had a 300-pound lawnmower on top of myself, still running, by the way. Gotta admit, Briggs & Stratton, you did a great job on that motor. And I was holding on to it and holding on to it, and I was kind of like yelling, my friend, get it off me, get it off me, get it off me. Yeah, well, he's still there. He does his best. He pushes off me. Well, I had a 3rd-degree burn across here. And the lawnmower stopped. It went, stop. Okay, so I had to collect myself. Parents gone, that's a plus. Lawnmower destroyed, that's not a plus, but we can fix this. So what we did, we picked up all the parts, various parts. Tried to restart it, wouldn't start, so we pushed it home. We pushed it home and put it back together again. We got the deck back on. It looked good, but it still wouldn't start. We tried and tried and tried. My parents called him. Not a word. He didn't say a word. My dad didn't say a word. The next day, my friend came up and we tried to work on it. You know, you got something called a carburetor, all right? Now, the carburetor goes into this little pipe that goes into the motor, which is an intake manifold. Well, this intake manifold had a crack in it, or, well, not a crack, but it was a hole about that big. Okay, there's the problem. We have a crack in that. What are we going to do? I don't know, but I'm going to have to mow the lawn on Saturday. I have no idea what to do, and I'm not going to tell my dad I killed it. Glue. We could make some kind of stuff out of glue. We could fill the hole up with glue, right? No, okay. Epoxy. We could make some kind of epoxy. All right. So my friend and I went into Logan. We walked, and we bought this stuff you mix together. It's supposed to take high heat, something like that. We made this goo, and we gooed it together, started up. It ran for a second, and we thought, okay, problem solved. Skipped Harvard. Well, Saturday came around, which is time to mow. Went out to start the lawnmower, and guess what? It wouldn't run. Wouldn't start, wouldn't run. When my dad come out to look at it, you know what he's seen? You guessed it. He's seen our repair job. Well, of course, he figured out, put 2 and 2, and wanted to know how I was able to start said lawnmower, and he found out about the key I made. Well, what happened was I had to pay for the new part, which was like $40 at the time. That only took me like 6 months to pay for. We got the new part in, got it fixed. He was actually pretty nice to me because I made the key and he was impressed with it. But you know, that was just the way it was. You know, you just had to make do in my day. You know, you're banned from something cool, you just make it work, right? I'd have killed my own kids if they'd have done it, but you know, it just is what it is. Anyway, that's the lawnmower story. But that was our first lawnmower. The second one we got, I was a little bit nicer to that one. But you know, you give me a motor and something to ride, I was hell on wheels. Talk to you later. Grandpa Dave here with some wisdom for you. Been around the block a few times. A little something for you. I never made a mistake once. I never made a mistake twice. Because I always made it like 3 or 4 times just to make sure I was on the right track. Or something like that. You figure it out. Later.